walking home, I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claim me a night like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. Won't feel some type of way. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Better leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Better leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think but the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, why do you keep chasing clouds? Before I go and change my mind.
Good evening and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. It has been a lovely day with a lot of great play, and you are joining us for the conclusion of the Boise State Golf Open. We are ready to showcase the best that virtual golf has to offer. The greens have been tended, the groundskeepers are proud of their work, and we're ready to see the best in civilized play between these two players. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joining you up on the 19th hole in the clubhouse, ready to call all the action. Joining me, I've got Greg Olsol-Smith. And Greg, it is just something that is so great that we see often and often in the time-honored tradition of golf. We have seen players rise to the occasion, be real big players for the audience. I just have to wonder, what is your background in golf?
Geez, my background in golf has been minimal at best. I am really just an onlooker of the sport and enjoyer of the sun and the green. What can you tell us about your history here in the clubhouse watching the games?
Well, it's been a real big honor to join Boise State throughout this entire venture. Of course, Boise State already has a varsity traditional golf team, but I think this virtual golf team is really matching them in capability. We could be seeing the new players, places like Augusta, TPC Sawgrass, the Brookline Country Club. Those really don't hold a candle to the arcade machine in replicating the grandeur that golf has to offer.
Grandeur indeed.
So I am very excited. We are going to have Dallamino and Glovely facing off in match play. Let's let everyone know how this various competition is going to work out. So in golf, we are 1v1, of course, as this is a playoff game. It's going to be best of 3 match play in 9 holes. So we'll take it 9 holes at a time. Whoever wins the particular hole, getting the lowest strokes on each hole, is going to pick up a point for that hole, and so it'll be kind of a best of 9, and then whoever wins 3 matches will take home the grand championship. We are just about ready to head down to the first tee, but before we do that, we want to give Doc's keys to the game in golf, of course, and that is to play it where it lies. Drive for show, putt for the dough, think about where the wind, and of course, please replace your divots. Be a good steward to the course that has been given to you. Those are Doc's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. We're just about ready to head down to the first tee. We have Dallamino and Glovely just ready to tee up here. I have been told that that conditions are pretty good. We have some pristine greens, well manicured fairways. Of course, they are going to have to watch out for all the hazards that come with golf. That's going to be the rough, the trees, and of course the unforgiving water. Of course, and we aren't going easy on these players, Old Soul. We are factoring into it penalty strokes if those hazards are dealt with.
Ooh, incurring penalty strokes, a rough one indeed.
All right, it looks like we are ready to head down to the first tee. Let's see how this works out. As we get an overview of the first hole, it looks like they are just actually exiting the clubhouse, if you will. Ready to hold up towards the first tee, setting up to player play. And here we go. We are ready for the first hole. Looks like this is going to be a fairly straightforward hole as Glovely and Dallamino face off in versus golf.
These players represent the Birdie team from New West Kingsborough and the Irons that come here local in Wyoming.
Unfortunately, that is just going to be a bit of a slice off into the woods there. A really unfortunate way to start things off. As we head off to player 2, which looks to be Dallin. He's going to have about 395 yards to the green, just a standard par 4 to open things up, and a beautiful shot right down the fairway. Really sets himself up for a nice approach.
An excellent drive, and I believe Doc and his keys would be proud of that mark.
Now, Glovely is going to be adjusting her next shot here. We're going to see how this works out as they prepare for the backswing. Looks like it is just a little bit of a hook to the left, and unfortunately in the water hazard. That is really a really tough break there. The good news is that they are going to be able to drop it, so they should have a pretty straight shot toward the green here.
And that does incur a penalty stroke, is that correct?
Yes, it is. As you can see, L versus R there, already up to 4 strokes and almost putting it into the woods with that one as well.
You've got to consider that wind.
Yeah, you have to consider the wind. It isn't too bad of a wind, just kind of a leisurely 2-mile-per-hour southeastern wind. Southeastern wind. It's going to be changing the choice of club here.
A good call.
Might be going for the 1-iron. A bit of a difficult club to hit here. Just kind of might be going with a 5-iron. That's not too bad of a pick for 148.
Clears the water.
Oh,
and
that is a very tidy shot.
Excellently played.
Now we're going to have here is definitely going to want to change the club here. Now, never want to really hit with the driver onto the green here. I would probably say good pitching wedge on. Could just kind of go with the putter. They also call that kind of the Texas wedge if you use it to just kind of brute force it onto the green, which it looks like that is indeed going to be the case here.
Good calls.
Now just looking for the final putt here.
Oh,
misses it, though, and is going to be far on the
shot.
green. This is going to be the deciding shot, though, for Dallin, looking to start this off right with a birdie. He's just going to line it up, reading the green, a slight draw there, and unfortunately underestimates the terrain of the green there, that downward slope, working against him.
And the table is back. Can they pull it together? Let's see.
And it just goes toward the lip there. Unfortunate, really unfortunate. Still, this is match point, though, for Dallin, who is going to get 1 point and take the early advantage in this match play.
Excellently played. Man, that marker right on the cusp. That's frustrating. But we know that both teams have potential, and they're neck and neck here, moving on to the second hole.
This is going to be a dogleg left, about 512 yards. As they're going to have to line it up. It is a pretty narrow fairway, though, and that bunker is going to come in play with a driver's shot, so might choose a 3-wood maybe to lay up short of that bunker. We're just going to have to see how it works out as Dallin looks to be taking the first shot. It's pretty well played, curves around and finds the fairway. Now as we are ready to head into the next shot, as Glovely lines it up, really doesn't want to try to slice this either way. And might be going with a next level strategy. I have never seen an iron on a par 5 off of, it's going to go with the 4-wood instead.
A good call.
But it isn't going to make it too far, as they are facing a pretty strong headwind of 12 miles per hour, which they are going to have to keep in mind and favor into their shots.
But that western wind can help them if they drive hard north, making it about that dogleg.
Yeah, they could play into the dogleg here. Unfortunately, they aren't going to be given a lot of room for error. That second bunker is just coming into play right after that shot.
Deep into the forest, and there it is. What a rough call.
Done in by the monarch of the forest.
It sure is, and it can be sometime, but that gives our red team a chance to play up.
Unfortunately, unlike the water hazard, the forest does not allow you to drop the ball, so Glovely is going to have to take this shot from where it was. Is just going to have to play around that dogleg.
A much better adjustment, but that still does occur, that extra stroke penalty, putting our red ahead.
Now Dallin's going to have the opportunity here. He might be able to drive this toward the green to get it close for an eagle opportunity. Unfortunately, is going to find the sand on that one.
So close to excellently played. That sand can be the devil's heat.
Well, now this could be Glovely's opportunity. The good thing for Dallin, though, is that it is a very quick shot out of that bunker. Of course, we don't quite know the conditions that the ball has lodged itself in that sand. Just like that one there, especially with a shot like that, ball might have plugged itself into that sand, which would be very hard to overcome. I'm going to have to swap over to the sand wedge here and chip onto the green.
That sand bunker on either side acting as the great equalizer.
Ooh, unfortunately,
chips over
the green, more onto the fringe there. So an opportunity for Dallin. Does not want to put too much into this, just enough to get out of the sand.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, maybe not quite enough there, as both these players look like they have failed to hit the green. Dallin's going to take this pot. Is actually going to chip it. Whoa, Nelly.
A step back and a step down as you go over the green, over the sand, and back
yeah,
and forth. Side,
unfortunately. And that penalty stroke is really going to cut into Dallin's lead.
One. Ease the nerves, Dallin. Let's see a better one. A nice little putt straight on, maybe. Considering the sand wedge, just despite the green, I like the gumption there. And there it is, another chip right over the top. Dallin, those aren't the irons I'd recommend for you.
No, he really seems to be having a really tough short game right now.
That's okay. You know what? He had an excellent long game coming into it, so
yeah.
The great equalizer is the long term, isn't it?
I mean, everyone wants to bomb it like Tiger, but it is that short game that being able to close it out at the very end that turns birdies into bogeys, and unfortunately is just kind of hitting everything but the green right now.
A little bit too strong in every direction, and the incurring penalties are just racking up.
There it is onto the green. Manages to get a shot. Is going to walk away in victory and just take those shot victories. This is a shot for Glovely, though, to tie it up in match play. Very thrilling turn of events so far.
Let's see if they can get that aim just right. Adjusting the toes. A quick tap. Oh, but that wind is vicious. A nice curl.
That actually isn't the wind. That is the slope of the green.
Slope of the green.
Right, you need to read the natural terrain. Now, Dallin doesn't want to hit this too hard. He just put way too much on that.
And back out of the putting field. I wish you guys could see them here in the studio, here in the play box.
You see, you can... from off the green is able to hold it there. Keep it to 10. This is going to be Glovely for the win on hole number 2. And almost manages to find it, but is going to be able to just tap it in here. This is basically a gimme. Can't really miss this. And there you go. That is going to be a tie for both players. Both players are tied at 1 apiece.
Well, here we are, and we are playing on a best-of-3 match. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. So we head into the next hole. It looks like we are going to be going on to hole number 3 right now. This is going to be a par 4 and a not too bad of a one, only at 395 yards. Of course, this one is just going to invite some big bombers right down the middle of the fairway. Beautifully played.
And what can you tell us about the shape of this fairway?
Well, this fairway is generally fine. There is a bunker waiting to catch any sort of slices off to the left or right, and the coal hole is a very slight dogleg to the right now. So, but that bunker, as you can see, is very well protected by the greens on all sides. So this is going to make for some very tough approach shots. Unfortunately, that one is just way off there. As we move on for Glovely, looking to recover after that out-of-bounds shot. Looks like they're going to push it in the general direction of the spinach patch.
That northern wind can be tricky. Doc's keys to the game tell us cannot.
And I like this. I think this is a good choice of club for Dallin right now. This 7-iron to play into the 7-mile-per-hour wind. He's just going to try to let the wind carry it. Unfortunately, overestimates the wind there.
It does,
but he is in a better spot.
Not in a dangerous position, that's true. We have definitely seen a good progress here in Dallin's chipping a little too far issues. So,
well,
really have to
we're waiting. Definitely is taking his sweet time trying to decide. Oh, he's not going to hit it with the driver, is he? Oh, no. Bunker shot.
And from tree to tree, like a frivolous kite.
Now, she's definitely going to want to try to use the sand wedge here to recover. Listen, you're doing well enough for yourself right now. Dallin was just wondering why he doesn't get any coaching, but the thing you have to remember is sometimes it's just you out there on the golf field. It can be very lonely at times, but you have to pull through it.
Yeah.
It's
it is an introspective sport.
And one that tests your endurance very much so.
Indeed. And your team wasn't actually forecasted for a very big ELO shift here, so losing won't hurt you very much.
That is a nice little chip onto the green there.
Excellent.
Or at least onto the fringe. Glovely is taking her shot here. Doc is giving some club advice for what should be chosen here. Looks like they're going to be swapping over to the pitching wedge.
Very interesting.
But it's just not going to want to place a lot on it at all. That is way too much.
A little bit too much sauce. But I tell you what, that pitching wedge can help negate the wind on the speed. Oh.
Just maybe a bit too much. That really seems like the short game is really doing in the players. When you're this close, I wouldn't even recommend against that. Yeah, just using the putter to see, because that worked out.
You're effectively on an extended green at that point.
Glovely now is able to hole out here. Unfortunately, is going to go 6 over par, whereas Dallin setting himself up for par here. Beautiful.
Excellent played.
Very, very nicely played. As we move on to hole number 4, Dallin leads 1. This is a very severe dogleg right. I don't think you can cut across the forest there, though. That looks like it's really asking for trouble, but Dallin's going to...
Considering that wind, he may be able to float it if it was just a bit more power, but unfortunately this takes him right back to the tee.
For those of you cheering, you shouldn't. It's in the bleeding trees, you great bunch of ninnies. As we move on, Glovely really has an opening here to just play it safe. After 10 months of intensive training, Glovely tries to cut across and is able to get away with it. She does a very nice shot, just laying right up in front of that bunker.
Dallin now taking the safer approach that he maybe should have considered beginning off. Gets a little bit close to the sand, but is by meter.
Not going to quite be on the beach, though. Problem is he's battling a 15-mile-per-hour headwind right now, which is going to be a bit tough.
Oh, plays just a bit too low. No, I digress. It's straight behind the green.
Dolly, that's a peach.
Acclimated.
That's actually really nicely shot. A nice way to recover.
Deserves 2 to 3 claps.
Yeah, I'll humor that.
Okay, good marks. Good marks.
The forward is ready to be played here.
Watching the numbers here.
We head ready into this. Ooh, just barely missing the out of bounds.
Deep, but still playable.
Now, this, I would recommend a pitching wedge here, but just don't want to put too much on it, especially that bunker is right behind the green and would be punishing a wayward shot. Oh, wow. He hit it. Looks like he hit it off the handle there. It just kind of whiffs on that one.
Always unfortunate. Ooh.
That is a nice shot. Just lays right up near the hole there. Now this is going to be Dallins. This is actually very competitive here, as both of them lie 4.
A good place to use the putt, indeed. Treating this as an extended green to really make your way onto the field.
Now we have
very close.
Dallin wants to end it out here. Is going to go 6. Ends with a double bogey. Glovely has the chance for a bogey here. She can tie this up again here. This short game been a real big focus of Glovely on the putting green, and looks like it has finally paid off. Remember, this is match point, so that plus 16 you see doesn't actually play. You just win if you get one. Now here we have a par 3 that you really just have to go for the green right here. This is very reminiscent of TPC Sawgrass, their famous par 3. Of course, the Coeur d'Alene Golf Resort has a very famous par 3 that's an island out in the water.
Of course.
So a lot of water here to punish a shot, and there you go.
A punish indeed.
And this is a wide open opening for Dallin here, who is just doing a kind of a few moves to kind of psych himself up. We see a lot of rituals that golfers use to try to put them in the zone.
Of course, just like a good free throw, it is all about the ritual and that introspective level of being on the green alone, you and the wind. You've got to be in peace with yourself and your stance.
Ooh, this looks like a beautiful shot here. Unfortunately, just misses.
Just on the coast there.
Both of them are going to drop here, a little short of the green. They both lie 2, so this is going to be an opportunity. Unfortunately, the way that Glovely, she hit it into the water there, that is going to be a much tougher shot to make. And beautifully curved, though, and that is a tidy little shot.
Excellently played. Almost a hole, I'm sure.
Is really putting the pressure on Dallin now, who has to let the ball just right up near the green. Challenging shot, and unfortunately way too much club there, choosing the 1 iron, and is going to get punished for it, leaving him on the beach. Now he's going to have to hope for a chip in here for a bogey. Is only going to leave it up short of the green, and might just go with the putter here.
I would.
There you go. He's just kind of debating how much to put on it.
A little tall, but not as tall as the white. Let's see if they can pull it in. Excellent
Beautifully played bogey there. For a bogey that still guarantees the whole win, and is going to put Glovely up 1 now. So now we're heading into hole number 6. This is very even between these two.
It is. Well, they have spent just as many years practicing out on these very holes.
And this is Coeur d'Alene Deluxe, if you will. Nothing but islands here. So
indeed,
we are definitely testing the accuracy of these two players. You might just decide. I do wonder, you would have to take a boat to get between all those islands there. There's no opportunity to use your cart here.
Maybe the knee-high water moccasins, I think. That could be
maybe
shallower water.
It could be a swampland for all we know. Still beautifully maintained.
Wow.
But not a good shot there.
A not very beautifully maintained shot, unfortunately. But it's all right. Maybe they thought the land was blue.
It's a common mistake all too made here in golf.
A common misconception, especially among former Boise State players.
Oh, it's just going to hit the water hazard there, too. We do hear a little bit of frustration over those shots there. Unfortunately, you know, you can throw away League, you can throw away Valorant. Golf is the OG tilting game for many, many people. It is the game that for centuries before League and Valorant has been a thing, has been making people dump salt all over the landscape.
Chucking irons and tearing grass over bad wedges.
Before they were smashing
centuries.
keyboards, they were breaking their drivers.
Definitely.
So we're ready to line up this next shot, going to try to recover.
Oh.
Way too long and bounces into the water. How
unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Indeed. It is placed just behind the beach here. A beautiful sandscape of sand and water means not quite the same thing for golf. Let's see if they can chip it up to the next little, playground in our archipelago, and they do. Not a great position, but a position nonetheless.
Dallin is going to have a bit of a rough angle here. Does have a way to line it up. Is going to be choosing to use the 3-wood, which could be a little bit dangerous. That club doesn't have a lot of loft, so might decide to go with an iron for something that has a bit more loft, can maybe get a little bit more of a top spin on.
Heading straight for the green with that down south wind just makes it so that you can't quite hit the second island, so it's placed at the first one. They're near equidistant here, considering that the irons they have at play could take either of them in one stroke. So let's see what Dallin decides to play here.
He's going to be using the 5-iron here. I do think that is enough distance. Ready to lay it. Needs to sit, though, and does able to get on the final island and avoid any of the bunkers. Now, Glovely, she's looking in the bag of clubs right now, trying to decide which one is going to be the best. Want to choose something with enough distance to not hit it into the water, but also make sure that you're not hitting something that is going to be too shallow in the air.
Yep, you want that loft so it sets in the finish.
Ooh, and that's exactly what happens when you try to use a driver to approach a green.
It's all right.
It doesn't. Now, Glovely really seems like the thing that's evaded her has been the club choice. It's just kind of going with old reliable, the driver, but it really isn't working out.
You cannot have a one-club quiver, not on a field like this.
It's just going to go a little bit far over the green there.
But you know what? It brings him into putting distance.
This is a very crucial approach for Dallin. And is going to be able to put it right next to the hole there. Does manage to get it on the green.
We're starting to close in, and the pars are very similar here.
This would make it even again. Dallin here for the victory. Of course, he doesn't want to miss here. This would be a very inopportune time. But Glovely is going to end it first. Give Dallin multiple opportunities to hole out here. And there we go. Beautifully played by Dallin.
Excellent.
He ties it up, and they are 3 apiece. So we move on to hole 7 right now with both players even. What a thrilling turn of events in our playoff.
Now, when we're playing this best of 9, is it a true best of 9, or is it a first
yes,
of 5?
Yes, it would be. It would be. It would be a true best of 9.
Okay.
We do play by, match points and stuff like that here. So they don't necessarily have to go all 9 holes, but it looks like they are indeed setting themselves up that way.
Indeed they are.
And are going to be facing a very long par 5. 552 yards is nothing to underestimate. Unfortunately, that is a fade that goes way too far off to the right for Glovely, and is going to
into the bushes
put
there.
her,
That's very
put her into the out of bounds.
Ooh. Glovely taking advantage of that 0-mile-an-hour wind and sending it right down the fairway.
Yeah, this is a good thing that Glovely does not have to be concerned about the wind right now. It is very calm.
Ooh.
Uses the drive. Fortunately, just
an unfortunate miscue there. Instead of putting over the trees or even falling short of the trees.
A real worm burner right into the green, right into the bunker, leaving it wide open for Dallin to take the lead here. This shouldn't be too complicated a shot. Just going to hit it directly straight. It is going to be in the bunker, but he can still chip out of that with an iron. Unfortunately, it is right up against the lip of that bunker. If that ball is plugged there, that is a very difficult shot to make and might make him have to not go for the green. And see, that's what we're talking about right there. That's when you have it right up against the bunker. And Dallin wisely not making the same mistake that Glovely did, using the sand wedge, or Glovely learning the lesson and using the sand wedge to get out of the bunker.
Yeah.
He's not going to have this difficult shot right up against the woods, too. Does not want to hit any of these trees.
Dean playing very close, but still playing it where it lies. Doc would be proud. Ooh, taking advantage of no wind and sending it right where it needs to be, into the green territory. Now we see if our other team here, Dallin, can follow in after. Again, we want to be careful of that sand lip there. Ironically, the green becomes your enemy. And straight into the Devil's Forest.
Of course, whoever wins this will get a glamorous one-day, no-night stay at the Pebble Beach Golf Resort. They will be golfing all day and leaving before dinner, courtesy of Pebble Beach. And unfortunately that is... Maybe they don't want to do any golfing, more golfing today, because definitely Dallin, and that's what I was talking about. It does look like the ball was plugged right into the bunker there and pushes it in.
Dallin is clearly tired of golfing.
He is.
And may spend his time drinking mojitos and Mai Tais by the beach at the Pebble Resort.
Yeah, the
or
Pebble
maybe
Beach.
He won't go to the Pebble Beach.
I mean, just, maybe head into the clubhouse after this and maybe have a cold, one or two. Assuming that Dallin is of legal age, I'm not condoning. This is a responsible sport.
Indeed, it is.
But Dallin is definitely feeling the wrath of the golf gods right now.
And speaking of responsible sporthood, makes it onto the green as intended. Excellently played. The shot par here, the strokes are a little bit off. Do you think that Dallin can come back from that little keyboard rage?
I mean, he's going to have to just, I think, consign himself to losing this hole and playing the long game. He's going to force himself to win the next 2 holes here.
Well, if there's anything Dallin's good at, it must be the long game, considering his short game is a little down.
It needs to be improved, let's just say.
It has room. The coaches have got their work cut out.
And this is going to be the hole 8. This is match point for Glovely. She steps up to the tee with another 0-mile-per-hour wind.
And what a beautiful place to have no wind out here. It is just a crescent moon-shaped bay beach here. A little bit of bunker up on the side, but they shouldn't be too worried about it, considering without wind they can cut close into that forest beach. Let's see if Dallin decides to make that same call or try something daring.
It's interesting. He's playing the forward here to try to take the water out of play, and he just ends right next to Glovely.
Not a terrible call.
Now he's going to use the second shot here. Unfortunately, he can't line it up in the way that he wants. Unfortunate, just the lie doesn't work out for him.
Yep.
He could try to aim it one way and then try to fade this to the right, and that's exactly what he does.
Played.
That is beautifully played.
Deserving of several claps. Dallin lets us know that he's been practicing that shot for years, and that was an incredibly intentional play. He was actually blindfolded during the backstroke there.
Unfortunately, Glovely is going to go the opposite way into the out of bounds, and leaving this for Dallin to really open up a shot to an ability to put this away.
Quite all right. Dallin's pockets are empty and would appreciate putting away a few more games.
And there we go. Unfortunately for Glovely, right into the bunker. Dallin is going to have this chip now for eagle. Looking to end this under par would be a beautiful turn of events for Dallin. And a nice shot, just plays it very safe, does not want that bunker to be brought into play, and is going to have a putt for birdie. Glovely now just trying to
so
limit the damage. You know, I said a best of 3, but I did not expect it to go to a whole 9 holes, so it might just be this one here. That's perfectly fine with me. We've gotten plenty of amazing golf today.
Indeed we have, and that is what we are here for today. We are also here to represent our friends over at Pandora's Box and Pandora 9. They're bringing us today's digital clubs. That's right. Today's players cannot actually choose from a
Now this is crucial. Wait,
angle.
Everyone's silent. Dallin is putting for birdie. Oh, and for shame, Glovely does not allow Dallin in the face of taunting from Glovely.
Excellently played.
Is going to tie it up and drive it down to the final hole. It comes down to number 9. One to decide the championship. A lot of islands still in play right now. It's going to come down to a 398-yard par 4.
Let's see this first tee off. This will be Dallin playing first, trying to get that leg up, trying to play. And it's a mental game as well, isn't it?
Right. You have to be able to dial it in. Unfortunately, Dallin.
Just off the rocks there.
Very unfortunate tee shot. Now this is the opening for Glovely.
Glovely checking the wind. A good consideration to have.
Dallin is certainly not a fan of the events that are transpiring right here.
Oh, that
And a beautifully aimed shot.
Right
I think I think Dallin failed to take into account the 6-mile-per-hour wind.
Well, it's all right, Dallin. If there's anything golf gives us, it's another shot.
He's going to take that other shot right now. Looks like he might actually try to hit this lawn.
Interesting. I can appreciate that. Did he consider the 6-mile-an-hour wind, though?
It looks like he indeed did.
Wow,
What a
very
recovery
well
shot.
skewed. A good bump up into the, first position by yardage.
Fist pumps just like Tiger Woods, channeling the best and most competitive golfers. This would be an incredible comeback story if Dallin were able to recover here, basically on par with John Rahm's incredible win at the U.S. Open this year. Just a brilliant story of triumph in the face of tragedy. Dallin now looking for his approach shot, which is beautifully played onto the green, and we might not have seen the last of Dallin right now.
Yeah.
It's all going to depend on how Glovely plays this shot out of the bunker.
If I had recently seen the last of Dallin, I would think that someone had taken his place.
That's a backhanded compliment if I ever did hear one. Now they both lie 4 on the green. It is all going to be down to the putting game of both of these players to decide the championship. Glovely, unfortunately,
just
too
skips
long.
The top
this
and
is
out
it.
of the green. A ground tragedy. It comes down to this.
Glovely, unfortunately, going 3, it looks like, on the green, possibly 4, is going to open it up for Dallin. This is it. Dallin with the shot for the match, for the championship,
Can
for
he
the
take
cup.
it, or will he send it far?
Unfortunately,
that slope
misses.
just grazes the edge.
The
absolute
cellophane
cusp.
The cellophane bridge does Dallin in.
Indeed.
And now Glovely looking to finish out here. But now
Closes
Dallin,
up on a 9.
once again, for the victory.
Dallin has the space to make this happen if he's patient and if he's steady.
He wants everyone to watch. Everyone to watch. And he ends it winning the championship
With
and a
blind
beautiful
putt.
play.
Excellent played.
And great job by Dallin there to win that best of 9 holes.
Those are our 9 innings.
Well, overall, a great performance by both of these players. Very impressive for Dallin to win that championship, considering he played those last few holes like a $3 violin. But overall, a great job there by Dallin to win the championship. Do you have any final thoughts here, also?
I do want to thank our sponsor, Pandora's Box, just one last time for giving us those tickets to Pebble Beach and sending our champion of the night of tonight's Open here on the Boise Greens for a one-night stay and a home by dinner, like you said yourself. Thank you, Pandora's Box. You know what? It was just good to enjoy the digital sun and watch the players here from the clubhouse.
Yeah, I personally feel honored. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Old Soul.
Not a problem.
In this true high-class gentlemanly golf tournament that we have had thus far. Thank you so much. And we have the victor here,
Indeed
Dallin,
we do.
just
Dallin.
sitting down in the clubhouse. Very nice for you to recover after some of those unfortunate shots there.
Do you have anything you wanna say to anybody? Go ahead, Dallin. Let's see him.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you for supporting me today and watching me perform my, I'd like to refer to it as my craft. I put a lot of passion and devotion into this project, and it seems like it's finally paid off today, and I have proven that I can be Glovely. And really, do I need anything else in life? I don't think so.
Well, with the Boise State Golf Championship, you will be ending your career in high fashion. So
Wait,
thank
what?
you. We hope you
What?
enjoy. That'll be the end that you see of Dalamino. You will not see him anymore
Oh,
now,
no.
now that he has won. Thank you for watching our golf tournament. We will be back with Boise State Rocket League, a far less exciting event than the nail-biting gameplay that we have seen here in the golf tournament. Thank you for joining us. And this is your host, Jem, wishing you sunny fairways and just beautiful birdies all around. Thank you so much for watching.